You come over that hill and you just see city. The community behind SnowRunner never ceases to amaze me with its creativity, and today we're going to be examining one of the most wild examples of that on SnowRunner's very first city map. This map has, and I kid you not, an actual city that you can drive around in, and there is so much to dig into on this map. Now, I have only explored a small amount of the features on this map so far, and what we're going to do is we're going to explore them together, and the reason why I am currently in a stock ANK MK38 is because, well, the garage needs to be rebuilt. The garage is very similar to the garage that you would see in Season 9, which also requires you to rebuild it. Now, there is a contract for that, although we will do that a little bit later on in a later video if that's something that y'all would like to see. But what I'm going to focus on in this video is what happens when you put skyscrapers and city buildings into SnowRunner and what that does for the environment, and also how it changes up the immersion factor. Now, as you drive around this city, you'll notice, not even only you'll know, trust me, you'll know that these buildings are new, but you'll notice that it gives the game a new vibe. It gives the environment a new vibe. And frankly, I'm not quite sure why a city environment, or at least, you know, an environment where there is the presence of even a small city, I'm not sure why the developers haven't toyed with that idea yet. Now, I'm sure there are going to be some people that may say, well, I don't think that fits the premise of this game. I don't know why you would put that in there, and that's fine. You know, there are some people that may feel as though this is not an angle that SnowRunner should go for, and I understand that, but at the same time, this game has explored so many different, honestly, so many different types of environments that I think having a city in at least one, you know, or maybe two maps would be such a cool concept. It really would be. And I haven't even been down here to this end of the city yet. Now, the large buildings really are a little odd feeling in this game. Like, when you see these giant skyscrapers, you're like, are they supposed to be here? But like, the more you drive around the map, the more they make sense. And the craziest thing about it is that you can see them from way off in the distance. Oh, those textures aren't loaded yet. But you can see these buildings from way off in the distance, and I'll show you that a little bit later in this video. And that actually adds even more to the immersion from being able to see the buildings from far away. Now, yes, you can do a little bit of a loop around the city, but what we'll actually do is we're gonna go on one of the back roads that'll take us up into the hills, and you'll be able to see the city from a long way off, and also you'll be able to see one of the really interesting little kind of odd features that this map has that I think gives it a lot of extra character. So let's actually head down this way, and that's not where we came from, but you'll see the gas station that we started at right up here on the right. Now, I will have to check the GPS in just a moment to make sure we head the right direction, but let's see. So, all right, so we're gonna go up to about here. We're gonna make a left on this road, so we're gonna go ahead and mark that. Then we're gonna make another left here, and then we're gonna continue up to this pool right here. Well, lake slash pool, because there's a very, very interesting feature to that particular pool that I really want to show you guys, because I'm like, the first time I saw it when I was exploring around the map, I was like, no, there is no way that they put that on this map. But they did, and y'all will have to stick with me to see what I mean, because trust me, it's way better that I show it to you guys than try to explain it to y'all, trust me. Now, let's see, what have we got going on up there? Is that I'm not even gonna ask. Yo, look at that city view, though. That's insane. Oh my God, I love that. So if we turn the aperture in photo mode all the way down, y'all can see way off into the distance. This is where these buildings really start to make sense, because even though, like, sure, some of them do repeat themselves, I mean, this is our first glance at what a city map in SnowRunner might be like, and I think that it's a brilliant idea. Got building materials down there, which we should definitely make use of a little bit later on. Let's go ahead and make this left, which we're probably not supposed to make, but that's fine. Don't worry about it. Now, as we head on up into the hills, you'll notice that some of the road sections on this map get abruptly steep, like, really quickly. And I'm not sure if that's just due to the fact that, you know, this map still has a little bit more development work to be done, or if those abrupt hills are something that the map creator wanted. Not 100% sure on that, and it doesn't really bother me, because again, this map is more of an exercise in what can be done, you know? Alright, so let's go ahead and actually swing really wide for this one, because this is a very, very tight left. That's a little bit more than tight. That's like almost completely turned around the other way. Now, as you get a little bit further up into the hills, you'll notice that the texture on these roads changes, and actually the way the trucks interact with the roads changes as well, and you'll be able to feel that when you drive around on this map for the first time. Ooh, big compression there on the suspension. Jeez. I love what they've gone for, though, with the theme. The theme that they've gone for here is really, really cool because it gives you those feelings of being out in the middle of nowhere, but if you want to make a drive down into town and down into the city, you can do that as well and get that, like, honestly, get both of the different personalities in a map, and I really, really think that we need more maps like that. All right, let's go and make a quick left right here. Y'all will be able to not only, well, I think you'll be able to see some of the city, but if we get to this hilltop lake, check this out. There are sharks swimming around in it. Now, why are there sharks swimming around in it? I have no clue, but the fact that there are sharks swimming around in this tiny little mountaintop lake, I mean, they've got to be sharks, right? They're not fish, because they're way too big to be just normal fish. But, I mean, I guess unless you consider a shark a fish, but we're not really here to talk about, you know, what a shark is. But let's go ahead and turn around real quick, and now we'll get out into more of the country areas of this map. And this map, like I said before, continues to change personalities the more you play through it, because sometimes you'll be in a city, sometimes you'll be on top of a mountain, sometimes you'll be down in a farm, sometimes you'll be, you know, going through a giant mud pit along a back road. This map constantly changes personalities, and I think that that really adds so much to its character. Look out there, you can see one of the buildings in the distance. That's so sick. And there may even be more that the creator behind this map wants to add to it. I don't even know. This map honestly just dropped out of nowhere, and I was like, yo, I have got to check that out. Because I saw some of the photos, and I was like, there's no way. And then I jumped into this map for the first time, and I was like, oh, so they actually did do that. All right. Now, going through this muddy area, I actually recommend staying closer to where the tree line is, because if you do that, you'll always have something to winch to. God dang it. Literally pulled myself directly around into that tree. But look, through the trees, you can actually see the buildings. You can see the skyscrapers off in the distance. It's so sick. All right, I'm going to head on down to where this road kind of starts and picks up. Not bad. You know, I'm actually very proud of this truck, too. I know it's just a stock ANK, but, like, it's been so long since we've driven something like this, and after driving a lot of mod trucks, I gotta tell you, sometimes these stock trucks they're better than you think. Not all of them, don't get me wrong, not all of them are better than you think, but some of them are better than you think. The ANK is definitely better than I remember. Look at that city out in the distance. I wanted to switch up the weather and the time of day because when it's clear outside, it's so much nicer. It's so much easier to see. Now, this highway is sort of a ring road that will get you down into the city, and it'll take you around the city, and then you can either take it back out again, or you can go to the right, and if you go to the right, that'll take you down to the farm, it'll take you to some of the other manufacturing areas, and it's basically a entire highway system that allows you to get from A to B on this map really, really quickly, which I love that, by the way. I know it's kind of a simple map in some of its design elements, but the creativity of this map and the elements behind it really push it into a new realm for me. This highway makes me want another gear. I've only got 5, and that's moderately sad. I really want another gear out of this truck. I'm like, please, give one more gear, please. I know these aren't fast, and they were never intended to be, but please, one more gear. God, you better hope you don't go off that inside edge. That is super steep, and it goes directly down. That is like one of the worst places you could ever go off. Now, down here is the farm area, and I'm sure that there are going to be contracts and deliveries to take care of, both from a pickup standpoint down there and a drop-off standpoint. At least I would imagine. Now, the further we get down this road, we'll actually get a little bit closer to where the initial spawn point is, because they spawn you in way out in the middle of nowhere, and you actually have to explore the map yourself in order to discover where you're going, which is what I had to do just to even get my bearings before I jumped into this video. Almost back. Come on. Yeah, this highway just feels like it goes on and on and on. Now, if you had a truck that had maybe one more gear, just one more gear, it would make these highways so much better. Now, obviously, there's other trucks on this map that you can use, like, for example, that Pacific right there. And that Pacific would actually be a really great choice. But this is also another area that I'm sure you'll need to rebuild a little bit later on. And again, as you get further on down this highway, you'll get further and further out into the wilderness. I wonder if there's anybody around. And nobody responded after I honked the horn. They were like, yeah, nah, pretty desolate out here. Pretty desolate. I mean, we are pretty far away from the city at this point. We've gone way back into the middle of nowhere. I'm also not sure why there are trees growing out of your highway. You should probably take care of that. I would definitely recommend cutting those down. And then you come around this corner and you see the skyscrapers again, and this is one of the most breathtaking views on the entire map. You come over that hill and you just see city, and it's so incredibly breathtaking. Look at that. It really, really is. Like, I cannot get over how much of a spectacle it is to see those giant skyscrapers right in front of you in SnowRunner for the very first time. But if y'all enjoyed this look at this extremely interesting map, make sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see y'all next time. Talk to y'all later.